EzDent-i, exporting 2D images. In this video tutorial, we'll go through the steps to be able to export images from a chart, whether it be sensor images, a cephalo image, panorama, or even a capture image. We'll start with this capture image by right-clicking on it and then left-clicking on Export. From a dialog window, we can decide whether to save this locally on our computer or burn this to a CD or DVD. In this case here, we'll save it locally to our computer. We can also change the name of our export file by right-clicking and then clicking on Rename. We can either replace the entire name or add to it, such as Jane Doe. We can include the image information, as well as include a viewer to view this 2D image. Select the File Format drop-down list if you want to change it from a DICOM format to either a bitmap, TIFF, or PNG, which is a lossless format, or JPEG, which is most commonly used as a compressed format. You can also put a check mark to compress this to a zip file, as well as to be more HIPAA compliant, create a password, which then needs to be provided to the recipient. At the bottom of the screen, click on Export. In this example, we'll save this to our desktop, and seeing this is the first time we're exporting a 2D image, we'll create a new folder called Export 2D. We'll then open the Export 2D folder, and we're going to create a subfolder, and we're going to name it after the patient that we're going to export this zip file to. We also recommend specifying the date that the image was either captured or the date the export was done. Click on the folder, and then click on Select Folder at the bottom of the screen. Close out the confirmation window to verify the export is completed. In this next example, we'll demonstrate how to export multiple images into one export. Simply left-click on the Control or Shift key, and at the same time left-click on the images to export. Once all images are highlighted, right-click and then select Export. Follow the same dialog window and identify the file types, and to make them uniform, left-click on the drop-down list and then choose the file format. You can also compress this to a zip file again, specify your password, and then click on Export. We'll export it to the same Jane Doe folder by clicking on it once, and then click once on Select Folder. And then close out the dialog window when complete. In this next demonstration, we'll go through the steps to export an entire FMX from the EzDent software. We'll click on the same Control or Shift key, and at the same time left-click on the images to export. Once all images have been highlighted, right-click and again click on Export. Verify the formats. If you wish to change it, hit the drop-down list and choose, and then from there you can also put a check mark to compress this to a zip file, as well as enter a password. Left-click on Export, and we'll export it again to this Jane Doe folder. Click on it once, and then click on Select Folder. In this next demonstration, we'll show how to export an FMX as a single image. Left-click on Viewer, and then left-click on Change Layout. We'll scroll through and find the layout that matches the number of our images, and click on OK. From there, click on the camera under Capture. Click on the word Capture to save the image to the image database. We can now go back to our Patient tab, right-click on our newly captured image, left-click on the word Export, follow a dialog window, export this as a zip file if desired, otherwise click on Export, and we'll export it again to our Jane Doe folder. Click once on the folder, and then left-click once on Select Folder. Close out the dialog box, and now we can then go to our Export 2D folder, where when we open up our Jane Doe folder, we now have 3 zip files plus this exported FMX image.